Hello parents, this is Brandy Hunt, your ESL Bilingual Coordinator for the district. This video is the first video in our new Parent Academy series where we will present information that is important to you and your child. I will be presenting these videos in English, and then Esther Montanez, who is our new Ponder ISD instructional coach, will be also presenting them in Spanish. So you can watch whatever video you choose. They will present the same information. We will put them on our website after we're done so that you can have access to the English version and the Spanish version at any time. Okay, so the first video that we're going to do is about TELPAS. TELPAS is coming up. It's next month. We have different dates for each campus, but really overall it starts about the middle of February. So TELPAS, if you have a student who's been here a while, you know TELPAS, but if you are new to Texas schools or new to just having a student in school in general, let me tell you about what TELPAS is. So it is an assessment that students take every year. You don't pass or fail TELPAS. It is just to show how much English your student is understanding, how much they can speak, how much they can read, and how much they can write. So ideally, we want to progress each year and grow stronger in all four of those levels. First, let me say that if you want to pause this presentation and download a copy of it, here's the QR code, so you can scan this and then you can get a downloaded copy of the actual documents. Okay, so who takes TELPAS? Any student who is an emergent bilingual, kindergarten through 12th, will take TELPAS. Even students whose parents have not given permission for them to be in the program will still take the assessment just so that we can see how much growth they are making. There is a TELPAS alternative. So TELPAS Alt is also an assessment that emergent bilingual students with cognitive disabilities can take. And that is same thing through kindergarten through 12th grade. Okay, so when can your students stop taking TELPAS? Well, this is our goal. Our goal is to get them through the program and reclassify them, and so they can stop taking this test. It's not something we want them to take every year in school. Now, to get it to where they can stop taking TELPAS, they have to score an advanced high, an average of advanced high. So if they have like 3 advanced highs on the 3 different sections and then an advanced, it'll still average to advanced high. So they don't have to have advanced high on listening, speaking, reading, and writing. It just has to average to be an advanced high. And then they also need to pass their English STAR test. And passing is anything from approaches, meets, or masters. So they pass STAR and they get advanced high in 1 year, then we can reclassify them and they can never have to take this test again because they are both, they're bilingual at this point. So after the STAR or the TELPAS, you will get a document that tells you how your child did, and it marks the level of if it's advanced, high, advanced, intermediate, or beginner, and you will get a score for each section. And you can go online and see exactly how many questions they missed. And now you can even go in and listen to their responses on the speaking and read the responses on the writing. So this is where you can log in to see all things, all tests that your child has taken. Their TELPAS scores will be here. Their STAR scores will be here. You should receive information on how to log into this family portal after the testing season is over, so early summer. And if you don't receive this, you can reach out to any of your language acquisition specialists and they can look up this info for you. So you'll get a code for your child, you type in their name and their birthday, and it'll log you in and show you all of their scores and how they did over the years. So not just this year, but in the previous years. Okay, so the whole idea of this presentation is so that we can show you how you can help your child at home prepare for this test and kind of to show you what the test looks like as well. So all of these, if you've downloaded the presentation, these are all links on suggestions on ways to help your child. Overall, it's just, if you can help us and help them by having things available to them to read, putting subtitles on your TV. So the more that they can read, the better off they're going to be on Telpos. And reading together with them is another fantastic idea. Even if it's, you can read to them in any language you want. So you can read to them in their first language, or you can read to them in English. The more they're reading in any language, the better foundation they're going to have for when it's time to take this test. So these are some more suggestions. So reading together, and it does say in English, but like I said, reading together in any language is fantastic. Asking them questions. So after you read, ask them questions about what you were reading. Having them write little things out about what they've read. Having them talk to you as much as possible about things like their daily routines, having them explain like how to do something, like how do you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or how do you get on the bus every day, and having them speak to you and tell you how to do that is going to make a huge difference. And then watching TV shows together, and then having what they just watched is another suggestion. So the next couple of slides on here are sample questions, just so that I can show you what they look like. So this is a sample question from a Telpos from a couple of years ago. So they will have to speak. And this one says they need to describe 3 things they see in the picture. So if they describe 1 thing or describe 2 things, they're not going to get full credit because it asked for 3 things. Same thing with this one. It says list 3 things that you see in the picture. So they have to speak in as much as possible and describing 3 things. So they can do more, but they cannot do less if they want to get the credit. This one says tell about your favorite friend, and then describe why that friend is your favorite and what you like to do together. So if you notice, there's 3 questions in that statement, or in that question here. So if you only answer one of them, you're not going to get full credit. So that's something that we've been trying to tell them. But with you knowing how this works, feel free, please, to go over it with them at home. Exactly. This one's the same way. This is for an older student. This is a high school question where it says, describe a favorite special dish you like. And see, there are 4 bullet points. They have to speak about all 4 of those to get credit. Same thing on this one. This is 2nd and 3rd grade. So they're going to have to tell a story, and they have to talk about all 4 of these pictures in order. And if they talk about 3 of the 4 pictures, they're not going to get full credit. So you want to make sure that they speak as much as they can. This one, again, there are 2 questions. It says 2 ways they're similar and then 2 ways they're different. So they have to answer both questions to get the full credit. So this one is this is a good example of just an open-ended question that students struggle with because they will respond in a very short answer. So it says, what question is the teacher probably asking these students? So there's a recording they have to do, and they can have either 45 seconds or 90 seconds depending on the question. And if they answer this in about 5 seconds, then they're not going to get full credit. And if you notice, it doesn't say on there to speak for 45 seconds, so they don't know they need to. So we've been going over that up here at Ponder ISD, but I just wanted you to understand it as well, because it's kind of new to students to understand that piece. Same thing on this one. I think that even I would answer this, and I could answer it probably in 10 seconds. So it says, what do you think will happen next? And my answer is, he will probably spill his coffee. So if I say it just like that, I've answered the question, but they want me to speak for 45 seconds. So I have to keep talking about what do I think that will happen afterwards. So I have to explain that maybe after he spills his coffee, he'll have to go get paper towels and he'll have to come and clean it up. And then maybe he ends up like spilling it on his papers for work. And then he has to, redo all of his assignments that he has for work. So you have to keep talking, and students don't understand this. Okay, so this is something that we also go over with them up here, but I just wanted you to see it too. They get to record their answers, and if they don't like their first answer and they go to record it again, it will delete their first answer, and so their second one has to be perfect. They don't get a third attempt. So I always tell them if it sounds good, just leave it alone. Don't erase it. Don't try again if they think they're happy with it. This is a fantastic chart because this tells you how much time that they need to speak for each question. So the average time to get an advanced high, even for second to third graders, is 43 seconds. 10th or 9th through 10th graders, we're looking at 42 and a half seconds. So that's or 42.7 seconds. They need to speak more than 5 seconds, even though they could probably answer the question in 5 seconds. Okay, very quickly, I'm going to show you what the grammar looks like on here. So they have to write the word that corrects the error. And a lot of students will just write the word itself in the box instead of correcting it. Same thing here, they'll write the word eated instead of correcting it. These are always tricky because there are three highlighted words. They have to find the wrong word and then correct it and not just identify it. Same thing here. This is a second grade question. Now this one is a ninth grade question, so they have to find the error, find the problem, and then they have to rewrite the whole sentence. So if they just write the error there, they're not going to get it correct. So they have to rewrite the whole sentence. And then here's a second grade version of the same thing. So they have to rewrite the whole sentence. So they're scored on the writing on you either respond or you don't. So there's no partial credit like you would see on some of the speaking. This is just a yes or no. Did they rewrite it correctly or not? Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to show you some examples of what the students are expected to do for writing. So this is a beginning sample. So this one just shows you they're writing in their first language, and this is a second grader. They're writing in their first language. Mainly, they're copying words that their teachers have taught them, but they're going to score this as a beginning writing sample. And then intermediate, you see it gets a little bit more detailed. They're still they're writing in first or present tense. They're writing a little bit more. It doesn't look like it's, just copied from the board, but they're still going to count this as an intermediate. So I'm going to show you advanced high. If you look at just how much the students are able to write on an advanced high answer choice or answer on the test, and they will be typing this, by the way, on the test. So when they're typing this in, they won't be handwriting it like you're seeing here. But this is still just an example of how much they're going to need to write when it asks them a question. So if you can write this much on an answer choice, you've got a good chance of getting an advanced high. Okay, the last couple of pages on this document, on this presentation, are just some links to some practice sites at home, some like the FAQs if you have any questions, some the parent tips, that's that same PDF from earlier in the presentation, and then understanding the TELPAS report card is a breakdown of all the different levels of how your child was graded. This is the slide that I am most excited about. I feel like our students they take TELPAS because that's what they've always known, and they take it every year because that's what they think they need to do. They don't realize that they want to grow, they should be growing, and they should show how amazing they are so that we can reclassify them. So last year, one of our incentives that we added was that if you can reclassify, which is step one, you reclassify. That means you've got to pass STAR tests and you have to get advanced high. If you can reclassify, then we give you some Spanish credits, and that's a whole different discussion, but it's a very simple process. And you make at least a B on your high school English classes, then you get an award. There's an award ceremony your senior year. You get the green and white cords that you wear around your graduation gown at graduation, and then you get the Texas Seal of Biliteracy on your diploma. So we're trying to encourage students that TELPAS is not just a test you have to take every year, but it is something that should be showing everyone how amazing you are and how much English you've learned, and by the end of it that you're an excellent speaker in English, but you're also an excellent speaker in Spanish or your first language. So that's the goal of the seal of biliteracy here, is to be, it's biliteracy, to be literate in both languages. So it's a fantastic program. I'm excited for it. So the last slide is, this is my info. If you have questions and you have, any kind of questions you have about TELPAS or even STAR or our whole processes here at Ponder ISD in general, please feel free to reach out to me. We have Spanish speakers. We have so if you need someone to speak in, answer your questions in Spanish, we have that. Or you can email me. I will answer any questions you have. We are here to help. So it's been a fantastic year. We're halfway through the year, and only good things are in our future. This is our first video, and then I want you to keep an eye out for the next video series. We're going to do one on STAR, and we'll do one for end of the year stuff, and then we'll continue these next year. And like I said, this one is in English, and then we have one, Esther Montanez is going to do the same type of video on the same presentation in Spanish. So it's the same content though. So just pick your favorite and have fun listening and helping us. Thank you very much.